Think I got it fixed. We're about to find out if I got it fixed. Okay. Code. We're going with code because the HIDPI on Goland is completely flaked out. All right. What I'm working on today is, since all that other shit was confusing, GitHub. Oops. This project, Colligere, I'm going to try to get it into a state where other people can actually work on it. I got a little bit of docs here, as you can see, but it's just kind of just whatever stuff. And what I need to do is get some issues listed that are up for grabs. That kind of tends to be the thing to name something, help wanted or up for grabs, whatever. And before getting into that, I'm going to actually, it's your help wanted. I'm going to put up for grabs. This is a great starting point if you'd like to get into the project. And then color, I don't know, pick whatever, GitHub, thanks. That's fine. Bugs, enhancement. Oh, good first issue, good for newcomers. Oh, I don't need this then, really. There's enough other stuff. When did these things get added? One open issue or pull request, and it is create a standard configuration file for the CLI. I think this might actually be the thing that I work on today. But first things first, let's get the code. I need to clone that down to where we're going to work on it. Let's get that over here. I don't actually know how I have anything set up on this machine, so this might take a minute to figure out. Because I have a Go directory, I have my normal codes directory where I put things. Oh, and there's package source and bin there too, and the Go directory, a Go directory. What in the world have I done? Oh, gracious B. And I have no idea what's going on this machine. So let's go. I guess I got some stuff in here so we can take a look. Oh, there's Colligere here. Let's see if I can get a build. Oh, it built. So it looks like we're in a workable directory here. Git status. Yeah, I don't really want to keep the executable file right now anyway. So let's see. All right. Just to make things straightforward, let's hear bug report, documentation request, bug report. I'm going to list a few things under bug report and basically say getting project to workable and buildable state. Build and workable state broken. Whoops, broken. And get project there. Name it like that. So 1 needs to have a workable build, working build. 2 needs to build locally with documented instructions. And so what else do we need? Let's see here. I'll probably need additional documentation to describe mission of the open source project. And then 4 would be file some feature issues that are just file some feature issues, preferably written, documented, worded, so anybody can get into or branch the code base and work on the feature. That seems to be good. So I'm going to say projects. Sure, that sounds like that. Labels. Good enhancement. Good first issue. Help wanted. Question. Invalid bug. So I'm gonna actually file this as a bug, because currently I consider the project not being very friendly to anybody trying to get involved as a bug of the whole overall project. Yeah. So let's see, I'm gonna assign it to myself. Gracious. Well, whatever. Got people involved. Submit the issue. And then also I'm gonna look at projects real quick just to see what I did previously to set this up. Looks like starting project. So I started a project and then got behind on it. I got some stuff done. Add build documentation readme, create standard configuration file for ZLI, build a workable state. Okay, this is in progress right now. So move that over there. Look at the issues one more time. Okie dokie. And then I'm gonna actually keep that one open. And then open another window with Colligere. And let's go look at the build. What's our build situation? Let's sign in. Then I can be official and actually edit my build if I need to. So checking in the vendor directory to test the build. Oh, that was something I did a while ago, but it failed. Alright, did I not? I never know exactly what to click on in here. I never seem to. Anyway, let's look at these. Yeah, there we go, job log, that's what I want to see. So it looks like it cloned, set some output stuff, did the export here, blah blah blah, put it in a directory, exported the thing, okay. Then there's all this stuff. This seems weird. And then the test, oh yeah, the test greetings with name. Executable file not found in path in config test. Oh, did I or someone add config tests? Let's open this folder. Is this the one? Code source? Yep, this is where I want to be. Colligere open. No, don't save. I'm not worried about that project right now. Alright, so that looked like it was config test. Oh, this probably is something that I added ages ago, and of course it wouldn't break. Or of course it would break, I should say. Test greetings with name, test greetings. Why the hell did I write tests about greetings? Oh, I didn't add anything there yet. Oh, that's real pleasant. So let's actually delete that file for now. I bet you it's not even needed at the moment. To get a good build, because I just did a build from the root path when I pulled it down this way, right? Yeah, that did a build. So let's and then let's add that into, or commit that back to the repo to get the build. Removed unknown breaking tests. No. Bear with me. Alright, removed that sucker. Removed. Oh, I just did all that stuff, but anyway, git push origin master. What changed? Let's go look at what changed. Yeah, nothing. It's just being stupid. Oh, did I want to? Oh, that was that test. But we don't want that. We want vendor not saved in the repo. Because vendor needs to be specific to the. Now what? Command is not available. No, stop messing around for a minute. Oh yeah, so let's hear, what is is it control tick? There we go, terminal. Clear. So modified that, and then I want to do dep ensure. Actually, I probably need to get rid of the vendor directory. Yeah, because that is from another machine, which probably would work because it was on Ubuntu and this is on Ubuntu. So if I was on a Mac, I would definitely need to probably pull a different vendor directory. Because it was on Ubuntu and this is on Ubuntu. So if I was on a Mac, all right. Oh, one thing I'm going to do real quick. It's crazy. Oh, wow, you're getting full resolution there. Crap. This is, here, I want to. Oh, there we go. Okay. Theoretically, my face should show up, but it's not showing up. Maybe the screen's dirty. Hold on. Resolution, let's make it a little bitty and small. Weird. Okay, try it again. Video capture device. Yep. And then there it goes. Of course, I had to re-add the stupid thing. And let's make the resolution smaller. No, that's too big. That's just way too big. How's this? Yeah, there we go. Cool story. Yeah. Alright, so should have the vendor directory back. Yep, okay. And it's pertinent to this machine now instead of God only knows what machine. And then I came out here, did the build, and then, oh yeah, git status, git add, all that stuff needs updating, vendor, ignore, other files, whatever, git push. Alright, there we go. Made some progress. A little bit of progress. Not a lot of progress, but some. And here we go. Okay, 10 seconds in. So that's building. Alright, so promised myself I wouldn't do that. No doing. So that means I need to go to Spotify. So if you're curious, I'm about to launch. There we go. Okay, there we go. See, so I'll show you. There's my Spotify, right? And my mic is in this laptop that I'm holding up, pointing at this other laptop that's showing my monitor of this stream. So a little Twitch stream info in the middle of actually trying to get this project to work and everything. Of course, I don't even know if I'm actually pointing it at the damn thing, because this is an XPS and the mic is in a really, really weird freaking place. It's way down at the bottom corner of the laptop instead of up at the top on most devices. But now I got a little music going on, so it's less annoying. Alright, there we go. Little Allegion tune for some background sound. You probably can't even hear it, dear listener. I apologize that you can't have awesome tunes, but I can hear it pretty damn well. And how are we doing here? Still 2 minutes in. Still kind of amazed that this takes 2 minutes. This should not take 2 minutes. All of my builds are morbidly long right now. How do you, what's your branches? Build history. I want to see build history. Where are we at? Oh, well, that's not helpful either. Let's look at... Is this the stuff? So built? Oh, that's right. So I guess I'm getting multiple builds for whatever reason. So that fixed that. I mean, not that we want no tests, because we definitely want some tests, but fixed our falsely failing build. I need to actually make sure I commit that repo with. So then 18.2 is what? What is 18.2? Updating gimme output. Something. I don't actually know what this part is for. I digress. Back over here. So we need to build locally with documented instructions. So we need to add instructions. While that's sitting there building still, I suppose. I'll put that over there. So talking about the CLI, the description, dev setup. I guess we should fill out. I should fill out the dev setup here. I'm just going to do this via the. Actually, should I do it this way or should I do it? Let's do it in here. Actually, it might have some cool formatting and stuff. Oh, there we go. Okay. I was going to say or not, but thankfully it has it. So installation, dev setup, that's what I want to do. So for the dev setup, set up a standard Go environment with all the stuff. And then clone to your local repo and run to, yeah, that's right, here to a local repository. And run dep ensure. And install And that should do it. And that's all you really need to do to get this project running. So what is the link for dep dependency pool? Go dep. No, I don't want privacy checks right now. Go bugger off. So this is the dependency manager. Has this cool icon or logo thing, whatever. And it passes on all these places. Yay, fancy. Let's go report card. So note there is a way to install it very easily on Mac OS. You can also just install this, even though it's not here in the directions. Maybe I should suggest that. Actually, let's actually do that. I don't know what the process is, but we're going to fork Golang dep. Then I'm going to make a pull request out of it. Ah! Defective plastic. Energy chews. I don't even really know what the heck these stupid things are. Bro, I'm eating one. For better or worse. Let's share. Alright. So now, I'm going to clone my fork. Put in my path here. There we go. Dep, there we go. And code, I'm going to open it up in code too. Where's the README? LMNOPR. Alright, give me some, there we go, color coding. Installation, so brew is done that way. Other platforms you can use install sh script. On Debian platforms. Whoops. Right. Is version with apt-get. I guess sh is shell for the inline code. That's awesome. Good job. So this is sudo apt-get install go dep. Just like that. Boom boom. Let's actually put the update thing. Apt-get update. Is it? The snapshot pattern gets update is done automatically. No, I don't want to do that. Apt-get update package. That should be it. So install upgrade. Oh, upgrade. Oh, do you just do it over? Oh, there we go. Just to install the package if it doesn't exist, or upgrade if it does. You may leave out the only upgrade. Oh, so yeah, I knew that already. I don't know why I looked it up. The things you forget sometimes. So look back at that report card later. So that's all I'm adding to that. And no, I don't know if anybody even cares about that as part of PR, honestly, but added instructions for installing to Debian distros with apt-get. Okay, so that's pushing that to my repo. And then I'm going to go back into Thrashing code, just so I'm back where I need to be. And then here, let's say new pull request. Create pull request, stretch for www.apt-get. Added Debian installation instructions. Since it's available there and is helpful to know about the option. Just run the command. Nothing much added, just the md addition. Anyway, that's how you create a pull request. Now, SP Boyer, don't I know that? Oh, no, that's same name, different person. Interesting. It's table flipping. All these checks. Anyway, generally you might want to communicate stuff, but since that's such an insignificant change and hopefully not really a big deal, they'll just take it into the repo. But that's how you make a pull request. If you're curious, haven't done that before, that I don't know, that's pretty much it. Sometimes they request other things like make a branch and then submit the branch as the pull request and blah blah blah. There's various ways you can do it, but that's one of the most straightforward ways that I just did it right now. So that's go dep. Hey, look, our build is working. That kicks ass. Woohoo! Oh, I actually wanted that open. But anyway, so here, dev setup. Oh yeah, I'm doing it in, I was doing it in code, right? Bring code back up. And it should have net repo, I think. Yeah. No, it's dep that we're in. So I want to open Colligere. Right. Install the Go dependency tool. Oh, and I wanted to add the link to that so people would know where to go. Go. then run go build and enjoy development. Oh, ideally make yourself a branch to do the coding, research, and testing on. Then run, go build, and enjoy your coding. Happy hack. Alright, installation to be written. Yes. We don't really have that set up just yet. At some point, maybe we'll put it in apt-get even, or something of that sort. But right now, for the moment, that's not where it is. Features. We'll generate role data. Oh yeah, so I'll come back to that in a minute. Let's look at their Git thing here. Okay, I want to add it, right? Open file, discard changes, stage changes. That's the commit. See, okay, momentary gripe here. Why name it something else? Like, why not? You have to type commit when you type the command. So if you're staging the changes, yes, but whatever, belay that. So many words to describe singular processes. It's no wonder people get confused in this industry. It's status, cool. Oh, and I just did that. That stages it. Now I'm going to commit it. What does it say now? Does it say, or wait, it says, oh, it doesn't say anything because it doesn't show up on the screen. Commit, refresh. Oh, okay, so it is doing a message. Oh, and then control enter to commit. Let's try that actually. I'm going to skip out on the terminal one for once. All right. Adding some basic, getting started documentation. All right. So now that's all fine and dandy. What did I say? Do needs to build locally with document instructions. Okay, check. How do you do that? You do this, don't you? Yeah, that's what I should have done in the first place. No, that didn't do it either. You suck. GitHub issue checkbox. That's it. Add task list items. How do you do this? Okay, so that should work then. Update. No? What the hell do I need to do? Oh, I probably need to do this. Preview show it? Ah, yeah, magic. Perfect. So did it. Okay. All right, we did that. So now let's Let's get some documentation in there. Super exciting, writing documentation. But seriously, this shit needs to be done. Alright, so features. Data generation. Oh, okay, this is... CLI will generate real-world style data to submit via a schema. Schema will dictate basic structure from data, types, stipes, how many elements of data to generate, and the particular kind of data. For example, data types would include integer, float, string, and similar. The number of elements will simply be the number of items to generate in total. The kind of data would entail things like addresses, names, first names, last names, zip codes, and other things. Okay. The endpoint to which the data would be submitted. The submission of data could be changed to be generated and sent via an ongoing stream of data versus as a bulk clump of data for ingest. Let's bullet point these things. Actually, let's do this. We'll pretend like they're checkable options. No, I don't really like that. That's not a good idea. That's one not good idea I came up with today. Just gonna bullet point it. Oops. So that the docs, that's pretty self-explanatory for that part, but let's create an examples.mb. Oh. Actually, let's call this Alok JetBrains. See, this is how you put a rename function in something. I mean, now I'm being mean about it, but seriously, I don't want to have to like do weird nonsense to make README. So let's call this README examples, like I just did. And we'll go check out examples of the schema and related information here. Actually, no, there. Maybe I should do it this way and then here. Yeah, that is technically how I should do that. All right. So the data generation stuff is set. And I'm going to add some examples in here. So let's see, what do we need? I'm going to take this and put it in here just for reference. And then I'm going to need what's your data? We can do connections where we can do it against API. So push sources. If it's pushing data to something, that should be called sources, databases. It's endpoints, but we're talking about just generating data for a thing. So it'll create the data, and I need some type of structure for it. So so right off the bat, we need elements or generate number, count, generate count. So this will be how many elements of data to generate. Now, the reason I say how many elements of data to generate is because the simple fact is, if we were just going to one type of database or one type of place, an API per se, we may limit ourselves to something like just put stuff in a table. Like in SQL Server, Oracle, blah, blah, blah. You'd put something in a table. You generate a table, put it in a table, something like that, right? You'd have a predefined structure to put these things in. And the idea for this application too is not to create the architectural elements of the database, like in a relational database, say tables, It's not the job of this to create the tables or create anything like that. The job of this is to purely put data into whatever it is that we're trying to generate data for. So if it's an API with a particular type of like multi-model something another, or if it's a relational database, it would be tables or something, but the tables or the structure, the overall structure of where the data is going to be stored needs to be built first. And then from there, if there's other more complex types of structures, let's say, I was going to say time series, but not really time series, graph data, and even to some degree relational data where you have a primary foreign key relationship. You'd want things to generate in a particular order. For instance, the elements in the foreign key table the primary key table need to exist before foreign key table element can be referenced to them, especially if the integrity point is made in that relational database. So if that's strongly reinforced, we need to generate data in a particular order when we're doing it for multiple tables. It would be nice, kind of in a similar sense to Terraform, instead of, Terraform knows what order resources need to be made. This would be the same thing in that context, that this application would know what order the data needs to be created to meet the requirements of the referential integrity and other things within the data system itself, the database system itself. So that's one of the things that I need to keep in count with generate count. And this piece could be, as we build this out, this could be more complicated, get more complicated, where generate count may dictate or need to dictate how many rows in one table versus another table, or in another type of source, like in a graph, you might want to dynamically create how many child relationships or other tertiary relationships of some type of definition in a graph store are generated based on a root element of some sort. So lots of stuff to think about there. I'm going to start with the notion of putting some data into a place, not many different places, blah, 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 but just into a store. Probably thinking of the context of like putting something into Cassandra where we could just load that sucker up, load that cluster up with a whole bunch of data, gigs and gigs, or however much we need to really test stuff out. And the same thing with like a relational database like SQL Server, or heaven forbid Oracle, or DB2. Hey, that's IBM's still out there rocking it with DB2. So that's my thinking with this generate count at this point, and I fully realize that it would have to be extrapolated out to further capabilities or further context and definition in the future. So I'm going to put that one there. Then let's see. So that's a good point. Oh, I love it. I forgot that it shows the Spotify links now. That's badass. Excuse me, I need to change music. Love me some LA Young, but I'm going to listen to something else. About some revocation. Actually, I'm going to go with In This Moment. Some of you true hardcore metalheads may think like, oh no, this is like poppy rock band. But you know what? Listen to what I want to. Maybe I'll even listen to some OTEP in a minute, and then that might cause a lot of tears. And then Flyleaf. Boom, boom. Okay, now my Spotify's being crazy. Anyway. There we go. That's what I want to use. Totally need to get some better speakers and a better mic if I actually wanted you to hear it, I guess. Alright, so generate count. Then we need to... Do we need to do the source? Well, yeah, we need to define the source, destination, so source, destination of where the generated data would be sent. Some possible options might include, let's say we might want to just do a static file, right? File, console, what else? Totally drawing a blank. Let's say DB2 SQL Server. Actually, if somebody wants to support DB2 in the future, that's cool. I don't have a DB2 anywhere in sight. SQL Server is good to support. I'm going to do PostgreSQL, MySQL. Those will be easy. Maybe even MariaDB, because Oracle. Actually, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna knock MySQL out just on moral principle. And then let's see what else. Oh no, there's another one I'm missing. That's key. I'll do Cassandra, and then something else. Think of one for me, people. Oh, I know what. Shout out to Twitter, right? Since nobody's watching the damn stream anyway. One of these days. Let's see, Gary. Currently. Not that I expect, anybody to join the stream. How do you do this? Well, I guess you do this. Oh, I love it. It says mobile stream. That's dumb. Not on the mobile stream anymore. I confused you, Twitch. Current question. Name some of the top databases. Some of the databases that you use that aren't RDBMSs. Let's put a question. Video. Damn it. There we go. come on. Nobody joined, right? So I'm just boring myself, yeah. Here we go, we can do this. Some 69 chambers, yeah. Alright. So then we'll do data stacks, enterprise, because it adds a bunch of stuff. Neo 4J, maybe? I don't know, actually let's look. Top NoSQL databases in 2018. What do we got? What do we got? I don't want ads. There's a few sites, so we'll take a look real quick. Just pick a few of the tops. I'm programmer. Doesn't it need an A? That site loads slow. Oh, Redis? Should we think about Redis? MongoDB, that's in somebody else's court too. This seems strangely old. Oh. This is old. Oh, it's got React on there, for Christ's sake. So that one's out. So this is May. Top rated Cassandra. Booyah. So Redis, DynamoDB, Cassandra. I don't think I'm worried about those other ones right now. Let's see, what is Azure databases? Databases. Azure databases, there we go. Now the only thing about this, I don't know about the online ones, because I mean, that'll break tests. Like, how do you test that in a nice automated way? I guess we'll figure it out. So there's Azure SQL database. How expensive is that? Database for MySQL, PostgreSQL. Actually, oh look, for MariaDB. So they basically have everything that I want there, but that's going to cost me money. There's this Cosmos DB thing. I'm going to add that in there. Let's put and hope to support. Might include follow the data stacks enterprise, Cosmos DB. Basically, if I can host it in Docker, though, I'd rather do a build test off of a systemic Docker deployment. Like Cosmos, really, you're kind of locked into Microsoft only and the specific criteria in which that database operates. So I don't really want to do that. Don't really want to mess with that warehouse. That's not going to need this. Hopefully you're not just randomly generating data and putting it in a warehouse. It'd be, yeah, I could get flustered. So Redis. What about DynamoDB? I don't know about DynamoDB. I mean, I know about it, but like I don't know if I want to put it in there. Let's do databases, and then let's do GCP databases. So go back out here, and then oh yeah, Cosmos DB, added that one. Let's add a link like this. There we go. And then I don't want your stuff like this. So their relational database service, AWS's relational database service, basically is going to host stuff that Docker provides us from everything that I understand about it. Yeah, all this stuff, except maybe the Aurora. Let's look at that for a minute. Migration service, yeah, okay. So none of that stuff. Not going to want to use any of that stuff. Because simply, if I work against Docker with it, I'll be able to do whatever I need to, and then one can just simply redirect their data output to that. I'm being passed notes. Well, yeah, but okay. So I was informed Cosmos doesn't lock you in, but it does because you can't run Cosmos anywhere. You can just keep your data in whatever you want it in, and then still use Cosmos if you wanted to do that. Which, sure, that's great, but you know, however your architecture is getting built, whatever your architecture dictates, is really how that's going to unfold. So anyway, let's see here. Products. Here we go. Storage. Do you want to do S3 storage, Elastic Block Store? I don't know. Some of these might have interesting data structures, and that's kind of what I'm after. Is what databases or data store mechanisms provide interesting schema in which to store the data that would be useful to generate data to store in that schema. At this point, that's enough databases. You get the idea. So the next thing, let's see here, source destination. I just proved to myself by being informed of that my voice can be heard throughout the entire house, just as I sit here and talk. But I've always been told I have a metal voice because it's damn loud. All right, so cool. We'll do that. And Cosmos DB. I'll look up some of the GCP stuff later and add it. If you want to, dear friends, please go in and add your own. That would be super helpful. So generate count, test, there we go. Generate count, how many elements of data to generate, and then schema to generate. Oh yeah, DynamoDB definitely locks you in, but that's a whole different story. We'll talk about lock-in on another episode of Adrian Twitch's random stuff. All right, schema. This is where things get a little trickier. How does the schema need to look? I don't actually know. But let's just build a sample JSON of the schema. That might be interesting. So we'll call this like header details. And then, so how can you format JSON? Is there an online tool that does this? That'd be pretty cool. I bet there is. Oh yeah, check it out. Oh, now I want to like type it and then. Okay. Anyway, we'll just do it here. Let's create a sample JSON file. Sample. So what did I have? I'm just gonna start creating a JSON file for the sample schema and go from there. So generate count. So say like 400 rows. we'll use this as an actual sample. So 400 source destination. This will actually need to be this because it'll have whatever the specific parameters are for the particular source. So let's say, or actually let's call this destination. This is source, and we'll say Cassandra, right? Then here we'll have what do we call it? URI, Universal Resource Indicator, sure, and it'll be local host. Actually, we'll just call it connection localhost 9042 or whatever. Then auth provider. We'll go with whatevs plain text. So then, actually, that would need to be dependent too, wouldn't it? Because the auth providers could differentiate. Right there, yeah, okay. And then we'll bounce that in. I'll go with type. Actually, we'll do type plain text. Oh, this. Oh, actually, this should go out. Wait, should that go out? Yeah, it should be at this level. So that is too many quotes, right? Yes, now we have the right amount. Okay. That's weird. Did that to myself. Then we'll add plain text. So then, oops, username, don't put it here, put it in vault. And password, same, get it in vault. And then I think that's that. I don't know. Looks close enough to what would be the connection information that you would need. So then the next thing would be the schema. Oops. And that is one giant JSON file inside the JSON file. So we'll say, let's start off with, I don't know, how do we, it's a good way to do this. Let's say, so I guess we got tables again. I'm trying to think of like, what's some good data to create. So let's just say table, the table name. So let's say artist. Or no, wait, passengers. That's what I'm going to go with. And then table, and then what did I do? Oh, there we go. And then name. Oh yeah, just did it. Passengers. I can't think of what I'm trying to do, but that'll work too. And then columns will be let's see here. Passenger. This would be full name. and then first name broken out, Dan. Actually, we'll do first name, because this would be the actual data generator mechanism that we'd use. So we'd have like first name, full name, and then whoops, last name, and then it's your date of birth, random date. Figure out how to do that calc for that later. Minor, because that's information they need for a passenger. Boolean. Of course, that's something that would need to be weighted, right? I mean, most writers are not minors. The majority are adults that can carry on whatever they're doing. So, and then paid, how much they actually paid, money, whoops, money, and then cost, money, class, category or something, category, oh, range, it would be a range. So here's an example. Let's write out some of the examples. Yeah. In this example, we would need direct generation for the elements full name, first name, last name, and last name for date of birth. This value would need to be seeded as very low probability for a minor's date of birth, but more likely for adults of various demographics. And then, let's see here. Minor would be a calculated field off of date of birth, then paid, cost, and class would and cost would need to be a random value for calculation's sake, but based on an initial seed value of fair price. Then class would be a set range of values that could or would be randomly selected, possibly also based on a weighted scale of sorts. Alright, so this can all go into the README example. Alright, let's take a look at what that would look like. So I feel like that gives me a little bit of basis in which to work off of, and which to talk to other people about to get this rolling. Yeah. So I feel like I need to do another Twitch stream once I've clarified all this stuff. then I can provide all this stuff in example. But for now, I'm going to say that's kind of wrapped up for the moment. And describe the, oh, didn't really do the mission files one. That is kind of what I meant by the mission, so I'm going to mark that. Then let's file some issues. All right. Configuration file. Create a standard configuration file. Okay. Configuration file could and should be used, albeit all the parameters should be standard default for simplification of use. For example, if a command has a parameter such as blah 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 do this value, there should also be an ability to execute this where blah 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 happens. There should also be a do this. Key value is required for default the value to get passed along. I.e., ideally, the CLI is as convention based as can be. Ideally, the CLI, that's horrible instructions. How did I write that? This file could and should be used, albeit all of the parameters should be set to a standard default for simplification of use. For example, oh no, I see what I was saying there. Okay. Values that we need in the configuration file to start with. Let's go with, oh yeah, configuration, wait, schema file path. Not sure how this does or would work cross-plat, but needs to be determined. Then file path. That's really what we need at this point. The config file needs to point to the file path, and then that gives the options to expand from there to add other files or configurations as needed for various databases. So, all right, I'm going to go with that. That sounds good. More to come. So I'm going to add that. Now let's get another new issue going. What's David actually working on? He's going to add build documentation to README. Oh, he did that, didn't he? I think he did that. Cobra, which will include Viper, read, Here's GoTap. Oh, this is done. There we go. So we closed an issue 2. I want to get some more issues filed. Feature request. Let's say good first issue. So I'm going to add the configuration file, but the configuration file, do I have it assigned? Okay, so here's my schema. So I'm going to edit that, and I'm going to actually put the schema that I just wrote up in it. Yeah, there we go. So that's going to be the #1 schema to start with. Not really a good first issue, but and no, I don't really want help. Feature work. This includes work specific to a feature or the feature description itself. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Shit. Come on, go closer to what I wanted. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. Both of these definitely are feature related stuff. Feature work and feature work. So then after this, implement data generation core. Add the engine or libraries for our engine and Colligere that would actually generate the data. Data types that need generated that we know of now. This list could get huge. So let's say first name, last name, full name. Just based on the samples, this could be a long list, right? Let's go with this one. Oh, I should do that. Yeah. Can do that. Does this work? I don't know, but I'll find out. Date of birth with weighted demographic range options. And then minor calculated field when date of birth or selected data generated column is available. And then money, a random value within a range, and then range, we'll call it category, a range from a selected dictionary of items with weighted preference toward one or more of the category items. So that right there is like a bazillion different things. So probably best to add the engine. Data types need to be generated, and we know them now. The engine needs to be coded, structured in a way as to make it easy to add additional data generation, I guess, engines or data type options to the CLI. This is definitely feature work. I'm going to assign myself. And of course the damn thing doesn't, whatever. Alright. So each of these could be broken out into issues too. Then we'll be able to make some real progress. So feature request. Add data type generator to engine. And then I'll call it something. Let's call it date of birth. These we already know about. But these more complex ones, I'm going to add each as a thing to work on. Then let's turn milestone. Products. Yep, that's it. Okay, so yep, that's good. Then I want to. Oh, that didn't work. Go back to the issue. Data type. We got minor, and then money. And then category with pertinent probability. Labels, feature work, good issue. Oops, gotta add the actual damn thing. Money. Whatever. Alright, so now we got issues. Progress. Check that sucker off. Alright, so done. Data generation core. Alright, so I'm going to go with the simple idea that it's going to be two files. One is config.json, and then one is going to be, oops, oh, there we go, schema.json. There you go. That'll keep them together selectively. Even though maybe I should put them in a folder. What the hell? Let's do that. Configuration. Or no. Oh, actually, I'm going to call this schema. And schemas are going to go in here. Move. And then we can have multiple schemas. Theoretically, right? Another schema.json. And then config.json is going to point at those. So that's where we'll get our dynamic list from. Or we could go by the convention that all of them needs to be in the schema directory, blah, blah, blah. And that should be something that it dynamically goes through and then picks up all the stuff. Or should I have a config JSON? I don't know. I think that's a good question. Oh, I don't have any rules. I don't ever have any rules. All right. Oh God, I look like an idiot when I stretch, especially with this weird camera down here. All right. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go with the notion that, yeah, well, config.json will be here, and I'm gonna say, do I need that at the root of it? Anyway, yeah, schema. Thanks, code. I'm gonna call it job name. The name of the job. I don't know what else to put in here right now. It needs to be there probably. So then another schema JSON. Let's go out and we'll grab this. And then whoops, that wasn't what I wanted. Just put it in here. So generation 10. I'm gonna actually change this to file. Right. Let's copy this one. Go over here. Put another one in. So another schema will be this. Oh, let's add another value. I just thought of something that would be useful. Execute false. So then if we have assigned this value of execute, and let's put it at the top. It seems like it's something that should be at the top. There we go. Then it will or won't execute the schema. So we'll do a dynamic load of the schema directory and then whatever's in it. And this one's going to be true. Did I capitalize the other one? Yeah, that doesn't need to be that way. There we go. All right, so generate, let's say 5, just so it's more readable. Destination is going to be console. And the console doesn't need any help. And let's actually create another one. Whoops. That one's console, right? Yeah. So we'll name this console schema. And then call one file schema. There we go. So console file. Let's go in here. Oh, thought has come up. Should I have multiple destinations in one thing? I'm going to do, well, because if I do multiple destinations, then that would keep the files more dry. So basically, I could go multiple destinations, and then that way you could write a schema that would go to multiple destinations. But if I also maintained it so that you could have one destination per schema, oh, that would still work too. So you could have one destination, and then each schema that went to various sources could be different. So multiple in there and not. So that means in here, destination would need to be different, like this. Right? No. Shit. How does this work again? Oh, JSON. Oops. Well, we're going to go with this for now. That'll be a refactor later if I want to do that. So right now I got a file schema. I'm going to go file. And then, whoops, name. And we'll just go with data, generated data. Actually, I'm not even going to put an extension on it for now. So we have console, execute true, generated data, true. Okay. And then I'm going to basically do this for now, just to keep it simple, because I know we can get a simple name real quick, right? And then we'll fight with all the other stuff and battle it out and get that developed later. And we'll enable the Cassandra one around that time. All right. So main. Now the question is how does Viper go Viper, right? Go Viper. So I'm going to use Viper to do the initial configuration file reading. So let's do go Viper. It's part of Cobra. Yeah, here we go. Oh, look at that, another little cute thing. A bunch of projects use it, so it's got to be pretty good, right? Setting defaults. Let me get right into this. Set default, this thing. Name of the config file without extension. Okay, Viper set config file. Do that. Watching and rereading config files. On config change. Oh yeah, I want that too. So maybe I go in here. Maybe, maybe not. So main.go launches command, which is in the root. That's what I need to go into. Yeah, all right. Function execute adds all the child commands. Got that. Init. That's where we're talking. Help message, blah, blah, blah. Init config. Oh, look at that. Set config file. Set config name. Why would that be that? Init config reads in config file and environment variables if set. Huh, that's cute. So I don't, home directory looks in there. Oh, this just errors out. And this sets config file to config file. Config file is, where do we even, what is that, just pulled out of thin frickin' air? Oh, there it is. And then it's root command, stream value, config. Oh, Colligere YAML. Alright, I'll go with that. Dot Colligere dot YAML. Looks like that might already be wired up for us. Oh, not there. Where does it? Well, let's remove you. We'll go down here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no. Okay. Huh. Okay, whatever. Just install this stuff. I don't know what you're looking for. Alright, so config file is going to be .colligere.yaml. Use config file from the flag. Search config in home directory with Colligere without extension. Automatic environment. Read in environment variables that match. Oh yeah, if a config file is found, read it in. So what's your... This is installed one tool of... You're ready to go. Okay, fine, thanks. I guess I could do terminal. There we go. That's clear. Go build. And let's just run this. A longer description that spans multiple lines and likely stuff. Okay. But, okay. Let's do Colligere config. Okay, that's the command I added here previously. So that's all fine and dandy. But what about what it's doing here? I think all of those bits are enough for the moment to do a commit. So that's your added config and schema files based on convention. Then control enter. There are no stage changes to commit. Would you like to automatically stage all the changes and commit them? Oh yeah, please do that. That's actually what I want you to do. Okay, and then that did what? Get status. Okay, now I can push it. At this point, I'm done for the day. Permission denied. Go build. Squiggly on my comment line? What kind of bullshit is that? Anyway, it's been fun. Well, sort of fighting with the stupid video streamer, etc. Now that I've done that, I've got the project. I've completed the mission that I set out for myself out in the repo. And now I just need to figure out what the heck is up with Viper and such. Here's a sample YAML file for the stuff right here. Reading config from io.reader, setting overrides. I guess I'm going to RTFM all of this stuff and then get back to it on a future stream thing. For now though, have a good Saturday. Happy hacking. Thrash some code.